Martin O'Neill has delivered his verdict on one of Celtic's most important players ahead of tomorrow's massive game against St Mirren. We've also got a big injury update that every Celtic fan needs to hear, a hilarious Lennoxtown clip doing the rounds, and the SFA have now made a major statement on the Ibrox Chaos from last month. Big one today, let's get into it. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. The SFA have now issued a formal statement on the chaos that followed Celtic's Scottish Cup quarter-final win at Ibrox last month, confirming that an independent review has been commissioned into the matchday safety and security operation at the stadium. For those who need a quick reminder, Celtic won the tie on penalties after a goalless draw through extra time, with Shvan Sara stepping up to convert the decisive spot kick. What followed was scenes of Celtic supporters flooding the pitch in celebration, which then escalated when home fans also came onto the field, leading to confrontations that were broadcast live on television and drew condemnation across Scottish football. The SFA's compliance officer is now formally collating evidence from the match, and any alleged breaches will be passed on to the relevant parties in line with the judicial panel protocol. The governing body stated that the independent review will seek to provide recommendations for all parties to ensure no repeat of the events that tarnish the image and reputation of the game. Both clubs have now broken their silence. Celtic chairman Brian Wilson addressed the situation, calling for people to wait for the evidence before jumping to conclusions. He said he would condemn any violence once the evidence was in front of him, but made clear he was not prepared to accept a false narrative. He also confirmed that Celtic have held positive talks with the currently banned Green Brigade fan group and that they will be permitted entry back into Celtic Park for tomorrow's game against St Mirren should they agree to safety measures set by Police Scotland and Glasgow City Council. Rangers also released a statement backing the independent review and confirming that any fans convicted of offences linked to the match would face stadium bans and withdrawal of ticketing privileges. The full process is now underway. Celtic fans will be watching closely to make sure the same standard is applied fairly across the board. Now for the main story, as Martin O'Neill has dropped a clear verdict on Kelechi Iheanacho ahead of tomorrow's clash with St Mirren, and the message is simple. If he stays fit, he could be absolutely crucial to Celtic's title hopes from here. Iheanacho has had a stop-start season. Injuries have disrupted any chance of building genuine rhythm, and he has often been used off the bench in short bursts rather than given a run of consecutive starts. That has made it difficult to fully judge what he can offer. But the Dundee game last weekend changed the conversation entirely. O'Neill brought him on with the game level, and Iheanacho did exactly what a top striker is supposed to do. The ball dropped in the box, he reacted first, and he buried it in the 82nd minute to win the match. 3 precious points in the title race, delivered by a man who had been waiting on the sidelines. The manager spoke about him ahead of tomorrow's game and was full of praise. O'Neill said on Celtic's official YouTube channel, "The goal that he scored for us, I think that probably he was the one that, if it was to fall to anybody in the penalty box, he was the one that we were delighted that it would do. He's had a few injuries, he's come through those. He wants to do the work. He's very supportive of the forwards who are playing maybe in his place. Genuinely really supportive. Both when he's in the squad, he's not on the field. He's very vocal behind me. If he can stay fit, that would be great news." That last line sums up exactly how delicate the situation is. Iheanacho's fitness record this season has been the one thing holding him back. The ability is clearly there. The desire is clearly there. O'Neill believes in him. The question now is whether the body holds up over the final 5 or 6 games that could decide this entire season. There is also some extra positive news on the forward line. Callum Osmond has returned to training after a long spell out, which gives O'Neill more options as the games come thick and fast from here. In other news, the Arie Engels situation at Celtic remains one of the big unanswered questions heading into this weekend, and there is still no firm update on whether the Belgian will be involved against St Mirren tomorrow. Engels has been out since February after suffering a thigh injury. He missed the win over Dundee last weekend, and his name did not feature heavily in O'Neill's pre-match press conference today either. But there is a positive sign. He has now had a full week of training at Lennoxtown and has been pictured back working with the squad. For a player who has been out for nearly 2 months, that steady build-up matters. Rushing him back too soon and risking another setback would be far more damaging than leaving him out for another week. This season has already seen Celtic burned by that mistake too many times with other players. What Engels offers is genuinely different to what Celtic have in midfield right now. He carries the ball forward, he passes quickly in tight spaces, and he gives the team a direct option through the centre when opponents sit deep and make it difficult. In the games that are coming, where every moment in midfield counts, having him available even off the bench could be a real weapon. O'Neill has not committed either way on whether Engels will be in the matchday squad tomorrow, but another week of training puts him firmly in the frame. Even a place on the bench would give Celtic something extra if the game against St Mirren gets tight late on. With only 5 league games left after tomorrow, every single one of them is now a final. Getting Engels back available as soon as possible has to be right at the top of the priority list. In other news, a brilliant clip from Lennoxtown has been doing the rounds on social media today, and honestly, it is exactly the kind of thing you love to see from a Celtic manager. In a short video released by the club ahead of tomorrow's game, O'Neill is seen sneaking up behind Hyunjun Yang during a training session, nicking the ball clean off his feet, and then sharing a big laugh with the winger. Yang's reaction says it all. There is no hesitation, no awkwardness, just a genuine smile and a quick embrace. That kind of moment does not happen without real trust between a manager and a player. It matters because Yang's story under O'Neill has been a really positive one. He came into this season on uncertain ground, with question marks over his future at the club. He was not seen as a guaranteed starter, and there was talk he might move on in the summer. That picture has completely changed. O'Neill has leaned on him more and more as injuries and changes across the forward line have opened the door. Yang has taken his chances when they have come, scoring goals in tight games and showing a real willingness to run at defenders and carry the ball into dangerous areas. That is exactly what Celtic need from a wide player. Lastly, there has been some well-deserved pushback on the coverage around Celtic's recent run of results, with Ewan Cameron getting firmly put in his place after trying to stir up unnecessary drama over the SPFL post-split fixture list. When the split fixtures were confirmed, Cameron went on STV radio and absolutely laid into the governing body, calling them a joke and arguing that Hearts, who are currently top of the league, should have been given a home game on the final day rather than a trip to Celtic Park. His argument was that the league leaders deserve to play in front of their own fans at the business end of the season. Cameron said, "What a joke of an organisation they are. Hearts away to Celtic Park on the final day of the season. I mean, seriously, Hearts have deserved to play in front of their fans on the final day of the season. There should never be an imbalance. It should never be unfair." Strong words, but they did not go unchallenged. That's all the latest Celtic news for today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Hail, hail.